In this video, I'm going to give you the little secret sauce to not only Airbnb, but Booking.com, Vrbo, heck, even Google and Facebook and Instagram and everything. How to smash and beat those algorithms so you can not only come higher up on the search list, but you can also turn lookers into bookers. This also works for your website. This works for anything. You just got to think of it and use this formula to rinse and repeat everywhere. Now, every single channel that you want to rank higher on and get more bookings on, you've got to realize that every single one of this, whether it's Airbnb or Google, they have an algorithm, okay? And as long as you obey to the algorithm, do what you want that channel to do, then you will reap the benefits. So the first thing that what everybody has to realize, whether it is your social media channel, your Airbnb listing, or your website, you have got to get the click. Which is why with YouTube videos, with every form of social media that you see, they have a little stat called CTR, click-through ratio. Now, how can you do this on Airbnb or on a listing site? Well, it's all about your image and it's about your title. So you may have heard the term clickbait or clickbaity, and you may think that this video to an extent is clickbaity because what I've done is I've done the research. I have gone onto keyword tracker tools and I have looked at what hosts are mostly searching for on YouTube and Google. So a lot of people aren't searching for how can I increase direct bookings with email marketing tactics, but they are searching for how can I get more Airbnb bookings. For example, there are over 9,000 more searches every month than the other one. So what I've done is I've created a title around a very common type search. And then what I've done is you've got a real nice image, because the images and pictures stand out more than the text. So the image then comes to the wording to get them to click through. So there's loads of other different options to choose from, whether it's your listing, whether it's a social media post or a YouTube video, and you get them to click in. Then what you don't want to do is you don't want to have somebody come on for less than a second and bounce out. Those bounce rates mean everything. And what you don't want them to do is you don't want them to come onto your listing and then click out and go elsewhere. So how can you get them to be sticky? So the second factor in this is to make your listing, to make your social media sticky so they stick around for longer. So first and foremost, make sure that your first 6 images on the Airbnb are absolutely spot on. They go from the USP, the unique selling picture, or as my buddy Sean from Airbnb Automated calls it, the hero image. You go from there and you give people a little walk through your property. So you may go from, it may be exterior, walking into the front lounge with the real nice view and the TV, and then you'll go to one of the bedrooms, and then you'll go to the living areas, and then you're walking people through using the captions to get people to stick. You want to keep them sticking on the site. Then you go into your description. And again, like I've explained before, give your business a brand name, bullet point everything, explain why you're good, maybe pop in a review like Danny from Airbnb Optimize Your Airbnb is on, and talks about putting, like, grabbing a review and copy and pasting it in the text, getting them to read down. And one of the big, Airbnb don't share their algorithm with many people and like tactics and tips, etc., and how to get higher, but one of the key aspects is to get your property on the wish list. If you can get your property on so many wish lists, then you will get a bump in the algorithm. And the ultimate goal is somebody who goes on your Airbnb listing and they make a booking. So the conversion of being on the listing to making a booking. So again, get the reviews on there, get the nice pictures, floor plans, etc. And the ultimate thing is to make an action. Now, obviously, if somebody comes onto your listing and you took on advice before about getting them to go onto Google, then what you want them to do is you want them to keep reading down, come to your bio, and if they run a Google search, that's fantastic because you're getting them direct. But by simply knocking off the two main ones, which is click through and being sticky, Airbnb will start to realize that. You could also intrigue people by saying, save us as a watch list. If you're not going to book, save us as a watch list, and come and check us out another time. Get listed on that watch list. But this is what we want people to do. And again, if you look at it with social media, with your Google, if you look at your website, once somebody lands on your website, you want them to stick around on there. So we've talked about it before on many episodes on this Boostly podcast. The headline, the image, get them to scroll down. If you've got a virtual tour, fantastic. If somebody's watching a virtual tour, they're not going to be leaving within a minute. They're going to stick around for a couple of minutes at best. And again, if you've got videos, if you've got all the things in place. And again, if you can get someone on your website, stick around, make it sticky, and then make the booking, it just means that Google will come back and just realize that your website is good. The worst thing that Google, Airbnb, Facebook, YouTube, they want someone to stick around for the duration. They don't want somebody to come on, fall for clickbait and click off straight away. That is the worst thing. So this is the key, making sure that your images are good, your description is fantastic, and you're always getting somebody to keep scrolling down and reading more. And if they're not going to make a booking, what's the other action they can do? Whether it's a watch list on Airbnb, we talked about it before, signing up to your email list that's on your website, or can they do something else? All right, so I hope this video was useful. I would love it. The takeaway of the day, the question of the day is please share your listing on Airbnb below. Let me know where you come up in the search results. Let us know what your niche is, and I'll have a quick look at your listing. I'll try and do as many as possible. If you listen to the audio version, email me at mark@boostly.co.uk. Put in the title about how to get more Airbnb bookings, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at your listing for you, or your website, whatever you want to send my way. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the Boostly podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thanks to the sponsor. And I will be back tomorrow for another episode of the Boostly podcast. As always, be proactive, don't be reactive, be awesome, and let's go get some bookings, eh?
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.